What's up, boys and girls? This is your boy Tim Thomas coming back at you with another quick video to provide some great information for you with your internet marketing and network marketing campaigns that you're out there running, and you're out there promoting your products and services on Facebook and Twitter, and you're making videos and everything, and you're putting stuff out there in the street. You're doing guerrilla marketing, you're putting flyers out, you're paying for ad space and all this kind of stuff. That's fine and great. And when people finally call you, and then you pick up the phone and they ask you, well, tell me about your program, tell me about your services, and then you dive right into all the benefits of the products and services, and you start boring them to death with all the details. Yeah, you can lose weight. It does this, it does that, blah 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 blah. Okay, you want to get started? And they say, well, let me think about it. Well, I used to be that way. I was a fitness professional, personal trainer back in the day, and I used to deal with that all the time. I'd be on the phone for 30 minutes straight, blah 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 blah, tell them all these benefits. And all of a sudden, I took a course one time, and I learned how to really market and how to really sell. It's not about running your mouth and exploding on people with a whole bunch of information. It's just what I learned was to tell a story, and that's what we're going to talk about here: storytelling for marketing. They say stories sell, facts tell. You tell a quick story, and people will remember that story, and they might be able to relate to that story in their entire life. Something not especially with weight loss. Everybody's always struggled with weight loss. So I used to make up stories. Yeah, young lady, yeah, she struggled for years to lose weight, and da 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 da. And then she found something. She found a professional that had something that could really hone in on what she was trying to achieve in her weight loss journey, and she finally tapped into it. And then 3-4 months later, the value of joining the service finally paid off, and she started losing the weight, and things like that, and the people are getting excited, like, oh wow, what happened? What? They get sucked into the story, and they will remember the story instead of you just spitting out details. So this is what this video is about: storytelling for marketing. And let me scroll down real quick. Yeah, here it is. People remember and connect to stories. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you a sneak peek at the webinar that I watched, and it was talking about how stories sell, and how to really, it taps into people's minds, and taps into people's hearts, makes them really dive in, and sucks them in, and then they don't even know they're sucked in, but you got them. It's kind of magical when you think about it. And this webinar actually talks about how this is used in the TV and the movie industry. This is how they suck you in. This is how they get you to run to the movie theater and spend all that money in the movies. And they do it all the time. You don't even understand. You don't even pay attention to it because you're a consumer. You're sucked into it. And they're on the other end, and they're laughing because they know it sucks you in. And these are the things that they do. And let's just take a quick peek at this real quick. This is the webinar right here. Matter of fact, the webinar was 2 hours long. I mean, it's just great information. Like, wow. And I'm at the 23-minute mark right here, and because the first part is introduction. That's good stuff. It lets you know about the speaker, about the presenter. She's real excellent. She has it down pat. She's an excellent copywriter, excellent storyteller. And right here is called "Storytelling is the Secret Sauce of All Great Marketers."
Storytelling is so profound. Is it subtle? It is so subtle.
Yeah, she digs real deep into this information. I'm not gonna sit here and play a 2-hour video for it. I'm just gonna take bits and pieces of it and just kind of give you a sneak peek. I made some pointers and timestamps just to. Okay, let me go to this spot right here. Okay, I'm already at that point right there. Let's see, 28. Let me slide over here to this portion. This 28. Okay, yeah. Character trumps content.
Well, I'm not talking about internet content like a video or a optimized article or something. I'm talking about character trumps the information.
Listen to this. Listen,
that we're
listen.
conveying. Okay, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. And guys, unmute yourself if you're muted. Real quick, name something you learned in 9th grade algebra. Name something you learned in 9th grade algebra.
I don't remember.
I was going to say, I was thinking of a triangle thing, but I was like, that's geometry.
So you remember something you learned in high school, right? So and you guys, those of you that are smarty pants, can write in the chat, and maybe you learned, a plus b equals, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I think that's the Pythagorean theorem or something. But generally speaking, if you ask someone, let's go over 20 of your best SAT vocabulary words and do some analogies, nobody remembers. If we talk about any of the math topics, nobody remembers unless that was your passion. If I were to talk about name the characters in Tale of Two Cities, most people don't remember, even though they were made to read the book. But now here's the next question. Name a character from The Wizard of Oz. Go.
Scarecrow.
Exactly. Everybody could have named one of these characters in about a second. The thing that's scary is, do either of you guys happen to know what year this movie's from? Or even what decade?
Well, I think it's from the 30s, yeah?
Correct. 1933, I do believe, but I didn't research that. Sue me if I'm wrong. This movie's from 1933. Now, I'm guessing that it was from before.
Well, let me stop there real quick. And did you understand how powerful that is, what she just said? That's real powerful. You learned all this information back in elementary, middle school, high school, college. You had to, they forced you to study that stuff, memorize it, take tests. You had to go do SATs and GREs and CLASTs and ABCs of the 1, 2, 3s. You had to learn all that stuff, and you can't remember 90% of that stuff. And while you were learning it, you were thinking to yourself, why do I have to learn this? I'm not going to use this in my life. But then you watched The Wizard of Oz one time, back when you were probably 8 years old, back it is 2015, and you remember the Cowardly Lion, you remember the Scarecrow, you remember Dorothy, you remember the Tin Man, and she has this little basket that she's holding, and guess what's in that basket? It's a little dog named Toto. Now, that's crazy. Saw the movie one time, and I remember everything about this movie. But I had to study all this information and can't remember anything. That's what she's talking about. Stories sell, facts tell. Now let's scroll over real quick, 33:18 to the next part. Okay, she's talking about three major characters that these movie companies and TV companies, they use. Three main characters that they use these characters, and you can actually use these characters in your marketing efforts. And she's talking about them. The Alpha, the Braveheart.
Drink coffee and get them healthy. That's the Braveheart. At creating character, or emerald personality types. They do a lot.
Talking like the Alpha, the Braveheart, the Evangelist. The Alpha is the person, follow me. We're gonna, no, you're gonna do what I tell you to do because I'm a professional. I know what to do. I'm the leader. I'm the chief of police, and do as I say. That's the Alpha. The Braveheart. Of course, Braveheart, the movie, follow me, I'm the leader. You're going to take charge. We're going to win this battle. That's the Braveheart type of character. And then, like you said, the evangelist. That's the person that does a lot of research. I've done all this research, and according to the research, we need to follow this plan of action if we want to stop this comet from crashing into planet Earth. This is what the math says. This is what the science says. So she breaks down those characters like that.
A lot of research, and they've done their research, and they've found that this is the best of the best, and they are on a quest to show everybody why this is the best, and the fact they know it's the best because they've researched everything. So the Alpha,
scroll down. Let's use let's go to the next one, storylines.
And the Maven/Evangelist.
And she ties all this into the next section.
Speaking, if we go
the types of movies, the storylines, and the types of movies.
Then what happens is they don't pay attention. And after. Okay, before and after. The next one's Amazing Discovery. The third one is I've Got a Secret. The fourth one is third-person testimonial or story. And the fifth one is us versus them.
Yeah, these are the five major storylines in all movies and TV shows. If you really think about it, this is how it really works. And like I said, further down in the webinar, she shows how she ties all that stuff into a marketing campaign to sell a product. And it's like mesmerizing how she does it. And she has them to role play. Everybody that's on the webinar, she has them to role play with her and stuff. And it's just, they have fun, they're laughing. And like I said, these are the five major storylines, the before and after. Like Amazing Discovery, I've Got a Secret, third person testimonials, us versus them. And what I've done, I've written down these, and I've come up with something for you. Let me go back here and shrink that down a little bit so you can see it. There you go. Before and after. Movies: Terminator, Matrix, and the Star Wars. Think about it. Terminator is a before and after type of movie, you know, back in the past and not in the future. You know, that's before and after. The Matrix, you know, they're struggling. Keanu Reeves, Neo, they're struggling in the Matrix and they're trying to get to Zion to survive. So that's before and after. Star Wars, that's before and after. You know, it showed you right at the beginning of the movie when the stuff started scrolling on the screen. Back in the day, before civilization began, you know, in a galaxy far, far away. That's before and after. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Give me a couple more movies. Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. You know, what's the other one? I can't even think of it. It's the one with the wizards and all that kind of stuff. I can't even think of the name of the movie, but that's before and after. Amazing Discoveries. Here's a good one. The National Treasure with Nicolas Cage. You know, they're trying to find this, you know, this treasure, this national treasure. You know, trying so they can get this money, and it's worth $1 billion. It's an amazing discovery. They're trying to find something. I know you can think of a lot of movies that are out there like that where they're trying to find something, and it's a hunt and it's exciting. And the next one is I've Got a Secret. The one I could think of is The Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis. You know, if you haven't seen this movie, I'm going to give away the plot. I'm going to give it away. At the end of the movie, you watch the movie. It's a good movie, but then there's a secret. The little boy said, "Hey, I see dead people." You know, come to find out, Bruce Willis was a ghost. He was dead. You know, there's a secret to that movie. You didn't know it until the end. Third person testimonials. Movies like The Fight Club. You know, the guy was he was in the movie, but then he was narrating the movie, talking to somebody else. It's like a third person testimonial. It's like, who's he talking to? Nobody's there, but he's talking to himself, and as if somebody else was there, and then you get sucked into that character. There's nobody there, and you're sucked into that character, Tyler Durden. You know, that was played by Brad Pitt. All of a sudden you see him, and then you don't see it. I mean, that movie was crazy. What's another third person testimony? I think maybe Forrest Gump. You know, Forrest Gump was talking about different things going on in his life. You know, giving a perspective, giving you a story, and you got sucked into the story. The next one, Us versus Them. That's an easy one. Any war movies, alien attack type movies, Fast and the Furious movies, Us versus Them. You know, we got to stop. We got to get that money. We got to race through the streets to get to that money, and we got to save her. Oh no, she got captured. We got to go save her. Us versus Them. Oh, and the feds, The Rock, he was in the movie. He was chasing them at the same time. So they're trying to pull off a heist, and The Rock, they're chasing them down, and they're trying to run away from the criminals at the same. It's just crazy. And you can go back to Terminator, Matrix, Star Wars, Us versus Them, Terminator, humans versus the robots, Matrix, humans versus the robots, Star Wars, the Jedi versus the Sith Lords and Darth Vader and them, you know, the dark side. Any football movie, you know, any football movies, Us versus Them. You know, it's this team versus that team. The zombie movies, you know, Us versus Them. Humans versus zombies. You're trying to survive. So these are the movie types that get you sucked in. And she just ties all that stuff into marketing efforts, and she breaks it down like you wouldn't believe. I mean, it's just magical stuff. So I can't speak for her. That's Diane. She's excellent with with her
It's to everything else you sell, your network
her
marketing products,
trainings.
your nutritionals, your whatever you're selling. I don't know if you're selling
These are all
electric or if you're
excellent
selling
speakers right here
internet
too.
stuff
Brian,
or
he's an
whatever you're
excellent one.
selling.
He does an excellent
These
training
storylines.
on copywriting mastery. I mean, he has subliminal information that sucks you into the marketing of an ad. I mean, it's just crazy. And she's excellent too with that. And she goes into she uses all those characters and she actually sells products right here in the webinar doing role playing. With the before and after, the amazing discovery. I was struggling in my business, and then one day someone introduced me to a product, and it was an amazing discovery. When I found out about it, I was struggling before, but now once I use the system, now I'm very successful. And you can jump on jump on with me, jump on board. I'm trying to tell you because we're trying to save a lot of people out there that are struggling. You know, so she goes through all those different characters, going from before to after. She's going from the Braveheart, follow me to it's an amazing discovery. She breaks it down, and it's hilarious to hear. You just got to check it out. And she goes through all different types of scenarios and characters and voice inflections, and they're just laughing. See them all smiling and giggling and laughing, and they're just having a great time. This is 2 hours of pure entertainment. You guys got to check this out. And this Glenn guy, he looks like an alien, but he knows what he's talking about. He's a top earner in his company, making 5 to 6 figures a month. Same thing with her. All these guys, they're excellent trainers. So just what you want to do to watch this entire free webinar, let me show you what you need to do. First of all, you want to go down to the description below, click the link that'll take you to the page where you can actually go into the webinar. Okay, so just scroll down into the description of the video and just click the link, and that's going to take you to attractionmarketingcollege.com. Okay, and scroll right over to free webinar courses and slide right on down to story writing. Boom. Story sell. What's your story? Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. Facts tell, stories sell. So many times it's not even funny. Just go and click the button, enter the class right under the little professor over here, and that's going to take you to this page right here. It's true. Facts tell, stories sell. Boom. Hi, stay-home mom and serial storyteller makes more money than most doctors by telling simple stories to print money in your business. And just go and put your name, email, phone number in, and click get instant access, and it's going to take you, boom, right here. Watch your free marketing training. Go ahead and just plug on in, get lined up, and just have fun. You're going to be entertained, I'm trying to tell you. So just go ahead and make the decision right now to go ahead and attend this webinar, and I guarantee you're going to have a lot of fun. And that's me right there. If you want to contact me, contact me. My name's Tim Thomas, and like I said, just go ahead and click the link, and I'll see you on the other side. And also go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends also. Because if you're in your buddy, especially you're in your downline, you're in your network marketing company, you guys, if you're struggling and you want to know little tricks on how to sell your products and how to get people interested in your opportunity, hey, you share videos and valuable information like this, and that'll help you guys out. So once again, my name is Tim Thomas, and I'm here to help out.